and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I am doing my April project life for 2021 and I thought I would take you through my entire process. So I order my photos from Snapfish. You get 50 free photos a month, which can be 6x4 or 5x7, and you just pay the postage. So it works out being £3.50 for 50 photos. So I just find it is the best way for me to get good quality prints quickly. So I'm able to order each month and it kind of incentivizes me to print out my photos for Project Life. So here you can see I've just sorted through the photos because a couple of them weren't for this time period. They were from, I'm working forward and backwards, so they were from past years. So I've just gone through and sorted them, as I'd like to get my 50 photos as the pricing doesn't change. So now I've just gone through and I've sorted them into different piles. So we went to Knaresborough for a day, so that's one pile of photos. I saw my friends and we had a pizza evening, so that's another pile. And I went to a cottage with my mum and dad, so that's another pile. So I've just gone through and really sorted through different events that happen so I can kind of start grouping which I'd like in what page protector. I don't do week by week because I just don't care that much about what happened each week. I care more, this is what I got up to in the month of April. So as you can see, I'm just going through and picking out which photos will go where. So because this fell over my last Easter vacation holiday at uni, I can quite easily group the photos into, the first 2 weeks I was at home, the second 2 weeks I wasn't at home, I was back at uni. So that makes it quite easy to kind of divide the month. So as you can see, I've ended up having quite a lot of photos, so I'm just trying to rearrange. I think there I was struggling to find, I know I had 2 photos, which are the 2 at the top from when we took our dog on a walk, and not our dog, Kieran's family dog on a walk. So I was trying to find those photos because I knew I had them. I put them aside because I was comparing the print quality of my new printer to the photos from Snapfish. So that was the one that I'd printed off. Anyway, now I'm going through and I'm just trying to pick out what I think will work well. So I've got this 6x12 insert that I'm doing for Easter Day, because in the morning we did an Easter egg hunt with Sam, and then we had a barbecue in the afternoons. It was one of the first days in the UK you were allowed to meet people, like 2 families were allowed to meet outside again. So it was really nice to go and actually be able to spend Easter Sunday with people. So we were cutting down a tree, which you can see in the top photo. I mean, I personally wasn't chopping down the tree, but in the bottom photo you can actually see me with the axe having a go at the tree. A little bit drunk, so probably not the best idea, but it was quite fun. So as you can see, I love these tags from Simple Stories. So I'm just going through and picking, and I'm just going through the cutter parts. A lot of the ones I pick for this are sort of ones that I don't think I'd use again. So like the Happy Easter. This is Easter Day. I doubt I'll save it and use it next year. So I'm thinking that I'd like to use it. And that rainbow that is showing through from the card in front, I think is actually quite nice. So I'm thinking, maybe I could layer that. So I think in a second you will see me, hold this up to the light. This is a little trick I do. So if I'm trying to tell if I can chop the edges off and it will look okay, I put a 3x4 card behind and hold it up to a light, and then you can really easily see where you'd have to cut to get it into a 3x4. I do this when I'm trying to think about cutting down photos and trying to see if I'd lose any of the details, and I just find it's the easiest way to see if I can do that. So I did cut the edges off that Happy Easter card so that it fit in the pocket, and I've just put that off to the side. And then I am now going through and picking out stuff for the actual 2 12x12 sides for the first half of April. So in this video I'm going to show you me picking it all out for this, and I will show you me embellishing the left hand side of this spread, and then I will also show the 6x12 completed because I did that off camera, but the other sides will be in another video later on. So I'm just flicking through some different collections. That's Cartabella Summer and Cartabella Oh Happy Days, I think. And I've just picked out some little journaling spots. I really like adding in things. I've a daily journaler and I've been doing it since the end of my first year of uni, so I'm quite used to just writing what happens. I don't really do thoughts or feelings. It's kind of, this is what happened, but I like to give details of things that I want to know. So you can also see there's a photo there in the middle that is my car with snow on top of it. It snowed in April in England, and we'd been sat outside in the weather having a barbecue like the weekend before, I think, and then it was snowing. It was such a strange week for weather in the UK. Like, when we say we get all the weathers in a week, it literally was so sunny that I got slightly sunburned on my chest on the Sunday, and then that was like the Tuesday, I think, and it was snowing. So it's a bit crazy. So here you can see I'm just putting them all in to keep them safe, and then moving that off to the side, and I'm going to start embellishing and just actually finishing off this side. So I decided to use this tagged journal on, and I just went through to find some paper, and this yellow paper is from the Cartabella summer collection. And then you can see I really struggle. I don't have a hole punch where I can actually reach the holes for the tags, which is starting to really annoy me. So what I keep doing is getting a needle and cutting, like poking a hole through and then cutting around. I think it would just be better if I just left like a needle hole, which I think maybe I did. Anyway, I then spend ages faffing, and then I try and glue it down, which I don't think in the end looks very good. I wish I kind of just left it. I didn't really know what to do. I'd already stuck the tag down, so I was really struggling because I didn't want to keep peeling it up too much. But yeah, so here you can see I start gluing it down, and it looks a bit weird in the end. But once you journal, you're like not looking at the top of the tag, so it's fine. So just to go through, that card that says April at the top is from the Simple Stories Hello Today collection, which has all the monthly cut aparts. I don't end up using many for April because I had the Bunnies and Bloom collection and Cartabella Summer collection, which are like more springy, and so I feel like I've used the Simple Stories Hello Today like as supplementary, and also I'll just use it more when I don't have something that I really want to use. So as I had got some Bunnies and Bloom stuff, I really wanted to use it up in the month that Easter was, because that makes sense to me in my head. So the top photo there has a glare on it, and I'm really sorry, but I can't figure out how to not have a glare on one of the photos, because I either then move it so it's not on the photos, but then the other half of the screen goes really dark. So I feel like you don't really care what my photo looks like, so it's fine as long as it's not like, because it won't glare on the like actual paper embellishments. So here I'm just going through and picking out some tags that I've stamped out there. L Studio label stamp set, and then they're the Mento drop ink pads that I've stamped out in all the colours I own. See here, this is what I mean. I've moved it the light to the side, but the other side looks really dark. I don't know what has gone on there. Anyway, so here you can see I'm using a Tombow dual brush pen in, I think it's dark olive, and I'm just brush lettering out walking, or it might be asparagus, I'm not sure. It's one of those two because they're my two like more muted greens. And then I've also cut out some little phrases and stuck them to the bottom of that card, which I've literally just printed off my printer, and then the green ones are from an L Studio stamp. You can see I'm really wondering what to do there. I just keep flicking my pen. I've never noticed that before. Anyway, so I decide to stamp the dates of things, because then that's like, rather than trying to come up with like a title for each to separate them, that separates them even if I'm just going to write like one thing. So on the other card I would literally stamp the date and write snow in April, and that's all I want to say. But I feel like I just want to talk a bit about each of the photos. So one was the picture of the other dog, that is my friend's dog Bob, and we just went for a walk and a catch up. And then the bottom collage is when we went to a local park with Kieran's little brother and took him out for the morning. So I've actually used pick frame, I think, to make that collage, which is why I had to have an embellishment in the bottom right hand corner, which my head is covering. which you can see now. And but I found if you download the Project Life app and then you click make a small collage, you can do a 6x4. So I've just started using that, and then it doesn't leave a watermark on it, so then there's nothing that I have to worry about covering up. But you can't do the white border lines. So I'm going to keep both apps. I feel like it doesn't matter that much. That's why I put that picture in the corner that I knew would have the watermark, was because there's a big gap between where Sam is standing and then it's just like the path. I knew that I'd be able to easily put a label over it. So it's just something to consider. Now I'm going in with my trusty little hearts that I add more or less to every Project Life, and or most of my spreads, to be honest. It's just a little punch that I've got from Hobbycraft, and I just go through with all my scraps of paper, and if I can punch a heart out, I will punch a heart out, and it just kind of makes for nice little embellishments and just kind of scatter around to make it look nice. So I just go around and I stick them down with a Pritt stick, which is a bit messy, but it's alright, it's not too bad. I jump about a lot with what glues I use, because I can't decide whether it's easier to do something or another thing. Sometimes I faff around with the double-sided tape if it's on a photo, but like that photo where it's just literally trees and then bob at the bottom, I didn't mind putting the Pritt stick straight onto the photo, because if it does kind of warp the photo, it's not going to warp Bob, and I'm not really that interested in seeing the grass again. So I just kind of think about what the photo actually looks like and then consider whether I'm worried about it ruining the photo. So these monthly cards from Simple Stories I'm going to put at the beginning of each month, and they are quite plain, so I do like to kind of add something to them, because otherwise they just look a bit boring compared to the rest of the spread. I actually way prefer what I did for March, so if you want to see that, I can't remember if I did a video for that, but I sewed on some flower sequins and I think it looks really nice. I like the way that this looks, but it's just not quite as special as having sequins, but I do like going for the kind of diagonal scattering of it. So I think this is close to the end, and then I'm going to show you these in natural daylight. So here is the finished layout. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel, and please let me know down below in the comments which your favourite bit was, your favourite card. Just let me know down below. So yeah, this is just all of the up close things. You can see all the little word phrases I've added on, which you couldn't really see before, and then I'm going to show you what the 6x12 ends up looking like. So this is the front side, which is when we did an Easter egg hunt, and so you can just see I've used the Simple Stories Bunnies and Bloom collection, and I've just tried to use all the Easter egg ones. And then that is me hand lettering in the olive Tombow brush pen, and then again that bottom corner is covered up because it had a watermark on it. Then this is when we were at the barbecue, so I've just ticked some bits and added tree cutting. You can see the Happy Easter I've added on some little pearls and little gems into the flower centres, and also to the tag centres in the bottom one. So this is how it's going to look in my album, side by side. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, and I will hopefully see you in my next video.